Welcome back. We're wrapping up the conversation about AFCON 2023, an AFCON that has been dubbed as one of the best that the African continent has ever seen. Now, next year, all the action is going to be taking place in Morocco. And just to wrap up this conversation, someone who has been watching the AFCON really, really closely, and in the end, they go chop his horse up into pieces. Adelade has a report for us, and he gets to share with us his thoughts on the spectacle that took place in Cote d'Ivoire.
Itu and Brian, I saw 10 missed calls from both of you after Nigeria lost the AFCON final. And I know what you guys wanted to say. I'm only accepting emails for now. Let's not talk about Nigeria. Let's talk about the elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. If you told me a month ago that they were going to be AFCON champions, I would have told you you're dreaming and you need to quickly wake up. But in fact, what they showed us is that dreams do come true. From being on the brink of elimination to going a goal down against Mali and Senegal to AFCON glory, it's incredible. It's never happened in the history of the competition. From being deeply despised by their own country to local heroes, from assistant coach to interim coach, Faye masterminded an historic revival and won the coach of the tournament in the process. Borussia Dortmund's golden jewel, Sebastian Haller, went from a fatal cancer diagnosis to scoring the winning goals in the semi-finals and AFCON final. The elephants of Cote d'Ivoire are truly inspirational. They were the 9th host nation to win an AFCON final. After the roller coaster of emotions that Ivorians worldwide have been through, they deserve that glorious night in Abidjan that they defeated the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We saw the 3rd time in the history of AFCON that all North African teams failed to qualify to the quarter-final stages of the competition. This also happened in 1992 in Senegal and 2013 in South Africa. And speaking of South Africa, Bafana showed us that we need to trust our local leagues more. The likes of Ronwen Williams and his teammates certainly flew the flag high for South Africa. Well done also to the young players like Adingra of Cote d'Ivoire, Lamine Camara of Senegal, and players like Ademola Lookman of Nigeria that set the tournament alight. AFCON 2023 will forever be remembered as a tournament that brought Africa together as one. Well done to Patrice Motsepe and the CAF team, and also congratulations to Cote d'Ivoire. Itu and Brian, please, no more questions about Nigeria till further notice.
Well, that is Adelade, a man who, you know, at the end of the competition has a silver medal around his neck, and I think that's okay. That's where it must end. We can put the conversation to rest. Amapiano still belongs to us.
I don't want to get involved in that conversation.
Really?
Because somebody was saying, you know, it was first, it was Tyler, then it was this.
Yes.
So I don't want to get involved in that. You're on your own.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Well, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Let's continue with the conversations and talk all things women's football, as Rachel Kudenanji has her name in lights. Her name is one that has gone down in the books of history, as she has completed one of the most expensive transfers in women's football. Brian, you have covered a lot of COSAFA. Rachel Kudenanji is a player that you dearly love, but let us know as to what makes this deal really special.
She's unbelievable. I mean, if you're talking about players that score goals for fun, she's that player.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it couldn't have come to a better player. You know, it was always a secret that was kept for the longest of time. Eventually, that has come out.
Yeah.
She has left Madrid. She's now going to Bay FC in American National Women's League. Now, what is very interesting about this is that she's going to be joining up with former Barcelona and the reigning 6-time player of the year.
She's the only one who's won it, by the way.
Yeah. Assisat will be a teammate.
Yeah.
So it's a record deal there. $860,000 is the fee. That actually surpasses a record that was held by Kira Walsh now. So that's a new one. So you're going to have Kudenanji. You're going to have Assisat. You also, by the way, going to have South African player Motalo. He's also there.
Yes.
Also back in the US.
Yes.
So things are heating up in the US. But Bay FC is something else. I mean, they really want a challenge for everything else. You know, and if you talk about crowd-wise, that's a huge step up because the number of fans that support the team is something else as well. So looking forward to this new thing. I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. I'm so happy. It's not even funny.
What's interesting about women's football, or just football in general in the US, is the fact that women's football in there is taken really, really seriously. It's a big hoo-ha. Now, I'm not saying that the MLS is not as strong, but it's not one of the most fancied leagues in the world. But when it comes to women's football, you definitely want to play in the US.
It is the success of the women's game that has actually made them become who they are. Won Olympics, won the World Cup, so they've done very well. So that's a reason why they've got massive support. And I also love, even I see it in South Africa as well, and even I've gone on the continent as well, is that families support the girl child. So when you have that support that comes from home, then you start having neighbors coming in, and you start having fans that support a certain team supporting you. So the numbers are always going to grow.
Yeah, numbers are definitely going to grow. But one thing that kind of breaks my heart is that Abantwana, which is our junior national team, is not going to be present at the upcoming Under-17 FIFA Women's World Cup.
It was always going to be a huge mountain to climb. You remember they lost 3-0 in Ethiopia.
Yes.
Came back, had to win 3-0 to level matters and try and go
And 3
up.
is a lot.
3 is a lot. I mean, they played very well. I mean, I watched the game. Which they played against the Ethiopians counterpart, but they're just unable to finish off. They created chances, but never converted their chances. So therefore lost out 3-0 on aggregate in a 2-legged match. So I mean, Ethiopia advanced to the next round. Nigeria did what they did the first time around. Central African Republic lost 6-0. Second game, 6-0, same story. Same story also Niger when they played against Morocco, 11-0 the first leg, 11-0 the second leg. Same story continuing. So now we have the countries that have gone through. You know, the 12 countries have gone through to the next round, of which 3 of those will go into the final round, where only 3 will qualify. So that's a big thing.
Just quickly before we wrap it up, I want to know from you, how much does this put us on the back foot as women's football in South Africa with our under-17s not being present?
It's a huge blow, because if you look at that, under-17 becomes a feeder to under-20s, eventually become the feeder to Banyana. So when you look at Banyana also playing the Olympic qualifiers, it means we're going to always find ourselves slightly shorter, because we want to have a lot of players coming through into the next 20 and then into Banyana respectively.
Well, a mountain to climb is still what we have when it comes to the development of women's football within South Africa, but we believe that we will conquer it. Mind you, every time I just remind myself, who is the president of CAF? Where is he from? Okay, everything is going to be okay.